fall is going to look very different for me. As you guys now know from this video update, I will not be returning to classroom teaching this fall for the 2021-2022 academic school year, and I will be taking on online teaching in a full-time capacity. With that in mind, I have been researching and trying to get an idea for the best times to have in the fall when students are returning to school and their schedules might look different. And now, just as we are finishing July and entering August, the news and media seem to be talking about nothing else when it comes to back to school other than the Delta variant. Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel and another episode of the Teacher Talk Tuesday series, where I sit down each week, turn on my camera, and answer your questions. Just a quick disclaimer, today's video is going to be talking about the Delta variant as it pertains to online teachers trying to be available for students who will be or are expected to be remote learning. This video will not in any way cover political reviews, religious standpoints, vaccination, do's or don'ts, none of that. This is strictly from a teacher's point of view, what we are expected to see this fall in the state that the world is currently in. Now that we have that disclaimer out of the way, I wanted to sit down and have a chat with you guys about what we are told to expect for the upcoming 2021 to 2022 academic school year. Really quick, if you are new to this channel, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed by clicking that little red subscription button down below and the bell to be updated for each and every future video. Also, if you're new, welcome. Hello, my name is Kristen. I am a former K-8 music teacher who is planning on being an online teacher for the upcoming school year. Question of the day. Fellow online teachers, is this talk of the Delta variant and the fact that more kids are planning on being home impacting your planning and solidifying of your fall schedule? Are you planning on offering more classes at different times, or are you planning on making the schedule around the times that you want and you're just going to try to get enrollment where you can? Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. Again, this is just as it pertains to online teachers who make their own schedules. Now, one of the first things I did when I made the choice to go online full-time as an educator was look at my schedule. For the summer hours, it wasn't as difficult to figure out when to put classes and availability on my calendar. But now that summer is winding down and we're getting into the fall schedule, I've been talking to other educators, particularly those that do online teaching as a full-time job, as well as the offices of Outschool in California, and asking what are times they recommend for teachers who have full-time availability for students. In the past, I would always try to do Outschool after a full day of brick and mortar teaching. So my schedule would usually be 4 to 6 or 4:30 to 5:30 depending on the day and what classes I was teaching and when students had the availability to take a class in their schedules. But now that I'm doing this full time, I really want to have a consistent schedule, meaning I want to teach at the same times each and every day. My initial draft, and just so you guys know, I'm a big Google Calendar person, so before I put any classes officially on Outschool to be booked by learners, I will sit at this computer and I will draft out a calendar of mock classes on Google Calendar. I highly recommend it. I have a video I'll put up above in the cards outlining exactly how I do this, just so I know, do I have my lunch break? Do I have time to do all the other things I do outside of Outschool teaching? Which this fall there seems to be a lot of, and I'm very, very thankful for it. You'll see more of those things in the fall, probably in my vlog, so make sure you're subscribed, there is more coming. So I put together a calendar that had me teaching usually between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Went through, juggled around some options. That way, if I was teaching 5 different classes, they were offered at different times Monday through Friday. So if class 1 was offered at 3 p.m. on Monday, I'd make sure if I was teaching it another day, it would be offered at any other time than 3. So maybe 4 or 4:30 or 5, just depending on the day. That way learners have more options to take those classes with you. Now, fast forward, I made my initial schedule, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago. Now, I'm being told students and their families are wrestling with the idea of staying remote or homeschooling for the school year, and now talking to Outschool, they are seeing a huge surge of students in Europe and Asia trying to find classes because they are either in lockdown or they are preparing to remote learn, at least for the 2021 portion of the upcoming school year. And with that in mind, I thought, okay, Well, if there are going to be more kids that are in those time zones, now I'm in Eastern time zone, so you know what I'm talking about when I give these examples, I should offer times to those students. So again, I jumped on my Google Calendar and I took my original block draft of classes that I had. I think I had it between 2 and 4, so 2 hours, 2 to 4 Monday to Friday, and I basically took that chunk of classes and put it up earlier in the day as well. Like I copied the 2 hours down in the afternoon and put it between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. as well. What this does is it offers students in those time zones the option to take my classes. Do I have some that are flex schedule and they could have taken anyway? Yes, but I have noticed that 80% of the people who want to take my kind of classes want live human interaction. They want to take classes with me on Zoom with other learners. So they don't want the flex, they want the live face-to-face interaction kind of classes. So again, in my case, I did take my afternoon classes and move them up above. So now I have a morning option for learners and an afternoon. Have any of them booked yet? No, I literally just finished doing them yesterday. So it is now the last week of July. That semester does begin the first week of September. I do have it planned out where a couple of my ongoing classes for the fall, I have actually started a few weeks earlier. I'm kind of trying a technique where I slowly filter out my summer schedule while bringing in my fall. Think of it like slowing the amount of available summer classes while ramping up the amount of available fall classes. It's just my way of experimenting with these schedules. Like right now, I will teach camps up till 6 p.m. In the fall, I'm hoping to not have to do that. If I do have to, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But right now, those kind of classes and those times are going to filter out as August comes and goes. And then the classes I will be offering in the fall will take over and be the only options on my schedule. Now, really quick, I did have a question here. Spencer asked this as I was starting to film this, and I told him I would let him know the answer in the video. He said, "Are you teaching full-time virtually now? How would this impact you?" Well, for me, I had my set schedule of classes and they only covered afternoon hours in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. If there are kids now all over the world who are going to be remote or virtually learning, it would be in my best interest to offer those times as much as I can so I can be available to as many students as possible. It's kind of like supply and demand. If there is now going to be more demand over in Asia and Europe, the times that I can teach that matches their schedule are my AM hours to their PM hours. I did talk to Outschool last week, and I think they said they're going to make like a newsletter and share that they've seen a higher increase in students from Asia trying to enroll in classes. I don't know, so don't quote me on that, but if that's out by the time this video comes out, that's where that information came from. So if you are also a full-time teacher or you're looking for ways to up your enrollment and you have morning availability and you are in Eastern Standard Time, you can go look and see if you're in a different time zone, the best times for you to do this. Absolutely try offering your classes at different times of the day. I've always said since day one, I have experimented with class times, particularly with one-time classes. I would offer them, 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get an idea of when learners were available and interested in those class subjects. And what works for me might not work for another teacher. There is no one size fits all when it comes to platforms that let you teach your self-made class on your own self-made schedule. But again, for me in this situation with the Delta variant and the world being the way it is, and now 50% of schools worldwide are offering or are planning to offer a remote option. Students can either take the fall semester or the whole year remote. They can decide if they want to do half the school year at home and half back in the classroom. But with that knowledge and the statistics that 40% of families are considering to homeschool or virtually learn for the upcoming school year, it is absolutely pertinent if you are a full-time teacher looking to have as much availability and options to students to open your schedule as much as you can. This does not mean you have to teach 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, but it does mean you have the option now to offer AM and PM classes and see if there is a demand for your classes and the opportunities you provide for learners worldwide. So again, for me, it just meant taking my afternoon schedule and copying it, pasting it into the AM. If it turns out that I don't have any bookings in the AM, I would say after 3 to 4 weeks of zero enrollment in an ongoing course, I would just cancel it. But it also lets me have the opportunity to try to fill a morning schedule and an afternoon schedule. If you're a teacher and you are also working a full-time job and you can't give Monday to Friday full-time hours, try teaching, a one-time or a multi-day class in the mornings on a Saturday or a Sunday if your schedule allows. This is really the time that you can play around with schedules, see what works for you as well as the students and their schedules. But you guys, that is it for today's video. Once again, let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. I am curious, are you letting the talk about this variant affect your schedules? Are you just gonna make the schedules you want and make the most of it? I wanna know your thoughts down below. I will keep you guys up to speed on how my schedule goes. I really don't know if those morning classes are going to book or if it's just going to be the afternoon and evening in the Eastern Standard Time zone that work for me. Again, make sure you're subscribed so you can check out the vlogs that come out on Friday. Thank you guys so much for checking out this episode of the Teacher Talk Tuesday series, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Introducing the new fast and easy way to get access to all of my teaching resources. Welcome to my brand new Teachers Pay Teacher Store. Here, you'll find a growing collection of classroom resources, including access to my Outschool course creation guide. Follow my shop and let me know in the comments if you also have a TPT shop, as I would love to follow fellow teachers on that platform as well. And until next time, happy teaching.